Hello, I've just finished the third Sparkle session, so that must mean it's time for Mini Sparkle, where I give my roundup for anyone who couldn't make it or would like a reminder of what we talked about. We had the brilliant Sarah Brason as our speaker, and she was talking on the, and this is a direct quote from her in one of our kind of pre-calls, was that elements of our life can be absolutely beautiful gifts that are wrapped up in shitty wrapping paper, which speaks to the fact that some experiences of our lives are really painful, but actually those are often the experiences in our lives where we have the most potential to grow and to learn about ourselves. And by welcoming, by accepting those parts of our experiences, those things that are painful, we can own parts of our stories that we might not otherwise, and also that give us a chance to grow, a chance to acknowledge maybe strengths or things that we didn't know about ourselves, a chance to liberate ourselves from what we thought we should be or the ways we thought we should be acting in the world. So it's a slightly tricky one to talk about because the subject matter was we went really deep. So Sarah was talking about one of the really difficult experiences in her life was the death of her newborn daughter Rowan, her second daughter. She has two other children, one born before and one born after. But she talked about how she's learned so much from that experience. But I think backing up, before she could learn about it, she said she was really clear about the fact that she needed to just feel her feelings about it, feel her grief, feel kind of things she didn't understand at first. And I think that's such a good point, that we have feelings, we can't control the feelings that we have. Our choice is what we then do with them, but we can't change how we feel. And she talks about the experience of feeling relief immediately after her daughter died, which having experienced bereavement myself and having experienced a sense of relief, and then feeling immediately guilty for that, I got that. But she said that by accepting that she felt like that and then exploring that, that actually kind of liberated her from feeling that she was doing something wrong or that she wasn't good enough or that there was something wrong or weird going on, and actually accepting the feelings. And it wasn't relief that her daughter had died, it was relief that she'd got past this point in this moment in time that she'd been absolutely dreading. And once she could understand it, once she'd given herself time to acknowledge those feelings, she could then start talking about with other people that she trusted. So she didn't have to hide away, she didn't have to pretend everything was okay, she could actually start sharing with other people. So I think that's, and Sarah emphasised this point several times, that it's really easy to start talking about, we can learn from our difficult chapters in our lives, we can grow. And while that's true, you can't jump straight to all the good stuff. Things that are painful, difficult parts of our stories and our histories, whether they're to do with bereavements, whether they're to do with ways we've been let down by other people, ways that we've been treated badly, disappointments, things that we wanted, any kind of loss, maybe something that we really wanted our whole lives, a career that we wanted to pursue, and a goal that we wanted to achieve. It's really important. If we discover that that's not going to happen, we're not going to get there, that can be really painful too. No one is saying that we should jump straight to, isn't that great, we can learn from it. It's really important to be gentle with ourselves and to recognise that we're going to have all sorts of feelings, and those feelings might not be socially kind of acceptable or wholly socially acceptable. They might not fit the mould of what we're expected to be or what other people want from us or what we think we should be, but they are our feelings and they are valid nonetheless. So I think there's another thing there, another takeaway for me is about giving ourselves time and space to accept and explore our feelings, but also then finding people to confide in who aren't going to judge us is really important. And finding practices, maybe like meditation, Sarah mentioned, or she reached out to Sand's charity, finding kind of help and support and practices that will support us with just exploring those feelings quite gently. So a huge thanks to Sarah. I think that's my two main takeaways, is acceptance, but also finding practices and people who can support us without any judgment. And only from that point can we then go on to get the learnings or kind of take take the good stuff, get to those glorious gifts, if you like, about our stories and about ourselves. So a huge thank you to Sarah for sharing so openly and so vulnerably about her journey, and a huge thank you to the 13 kind of wonderful women who showed up.